It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss. Nope, wrong intro. I'm back with another Premier League and Sorare review show. The wrong intro I just did are the videos I make every Thursday, Road to Sorare Boss episodes, where I review my Sorare journey. So if you're interested in that, do check them out on Thursday. They're not live, but they're a lot of fun. I review my gallery. Tune in on Thursdays for those. But today on Mondays, we review the Premier League football of the weekend and we talk about Sorare. Welcome, Callum in the chat, aka Horn Doom. How are you, my friend? How's life? How are you? How are you? How are you? Now, why did that message not come up? Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Your message can appear on screen. We're still working some tech issues here at Amreezy HQ. I don't know football, but sick. Callum, now's the time to get into football. Now is the time. Football has never been this interesting. Now's the time to get into it. But I appreciate you popping in and saying hello, Callum. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. A side note from football. I've started carpentry lessons. I've started doing carpentry lessons. That's what I've been doing today. And then rushing home to do this video. So that's me. I hope you're well, Callum. Usually I review the Premier League football every Monday, but there's no Premier League football this weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview the midweek Premier League football. So instead of reviewing the weekend, we're going to preview the midweek. And I've not finished building my Sorare lineups, so I'll kind of do a bit of that on stream as well. I'll show you my Premier League lineups and... Oh, God, you're getting old. Yeah, I'm in my 30s now. This is what happens. Don't enter your 30s, people. This is what happens. Stay in your 20s. Stay in your 20s. When you get to 29, just go back to 20 and do it again. Otherwise, you'll be doing carpentry lessons. But yes, I'm going to be reviewing the midweek, previewing the midweek. No reviewing here. And showing you my Premier League lineups. So, with that being said, where better to start than with the midweek Premier League games. And the first one is Arsenal versus Fulham. Arsenal versus Fulham. Bukayo Saka is close to fitness. My cousin is an Arsenal fan. He texts me full of joy today saying, Saka's coming back. Get ready. Saka's coming back. And for Arsenal, I think, the title race is not over yet. I've seen a lot of people just saying, Liverpool have won it. Liverpool won it. And they are, how many points are they clear? Yes, Liverpool are favourites to win it. But Liverpool, they've gone out of the Champions League. They went out of the FA Cup. They lost the Carabao Cup final. And they are 12 points clear. So yeah, that is a lot. However, Arsenal and Liverpool have still got to play each other. So let's just say Arsenal beat Liverpool. That's now 9 points. So that's 3. So, there's 9 games left. Could Liverpool lose 3 of those? Could Arsenal win all of their games? I could see Arsenal winning all of their games, having a bit of momentum, Saka coming back from injury and giving them a huge boost. Liverpool losing 3 will be hard. They've only lost 1 all season. But with the form Liverpool have been in, you never know. You never know. If Liverpool lose this game at the weekend against Everton are going to be really up for it. Merseyside derby. We'll get to that game later. But the title race is still there. And also, even if the title race isn't there, I feel like Arteta's the kind of manager where he's going to be drilling Arsenal to stay professional. And also, they're still in the Champions League, Arsenal. And the best chance Arsenal have of doing well in the Champions League is if they are doing well in the league, if they have confidence, if they have momentum. So, if you've got Arsenal Sorare cards, you're keeping them. I wouldn't be selling them. There's a temptation to sell them. I get it. A lot of people are selling Sorare cards right now because there's only 9 games left. People kind of want to get some value from their cards, sell their cards, and then keep a bit of money for next Sorare season's in-season cards. I get it. However, if I had Arsenal cards, I would not be thinking like that. I would be thinking, with Saka coming back, I'm confident Arsenal are going to be really going for momentum, keeping momentum, if not for the league, for the Champions League. They don't want to have that, it's a bit of a kind of myth in football where it's like, oh yeah, no, they can concentrate in the Champions League and rest their players in the league. That doesn't work. I've seen too many times... as a Chelsea fan myself, when Chelsea have been out of the title race and still in Europe, where they kind of think, oh, we can rest a few players in the Premier League and then play the A team in the Champions League. It doesn't work. The players just don't have that momentum. They need to stay fresh. They need to be motivated. And if you're resting your best players in the league, it's not going to happen. So I don't see that happening. I think Arsenal are going to go for it, stay professional. And when Saka comes back, this front three, look at this. Martinelli's back from injury. Trossard, Merino. I'm guessing Trossard or Martinelli maybe play down the middle if Saka comes back and Merino drops back to midfield or the bench. But I mean, from my Sorare personal collection, I have an Ethan Nwaneri card, and I'm really disappointed. Ethan Nwaneri kind of didn't when Saka first got injured. Nwaneri had like 2 or 3 games where he was the guy, assists, got a few goals, and I was really thinking, okay, in Nwaneri, this is going to be a great card that I've won. He's going to play all the remaining of games of the season. Even when Saka comes back, maybe he can move to the other wing. But it's not quite worked out. Nwaneri's like, he's not injured, is he? No, he's not injured. I think he's just on the bench now. What did he do last Arsenal game? Ethan Nwaneri, last Arsenal game was they beat Chelsea 1-0. How could I forget? And Nwaneri didn't start, but he came off the bench. Came off the bench on 79 minutes. So he's kind of become a bit of a bench player now, which is a bit of a shame for me because that's the only Arsenal card I have. But I think he's one for the future, and I won't sell that card because I do think he's one for the future, Ethan Nwaneri, and maybe he has a really good season next year, and his classic card is worth more than I could sell him for now. That's kind of my strategy, and because I won the card or I crafted it, I can't quite remember, I don't really want to sell it. So Arsenal, Fulham, I think Arsenal are going to batter Fulham. I think Fulham's form has been hit and miss lately. I think against smaller teams, Fulham can get motivated, but I just see Arsenal here turning up and smashing them. Arsenal have had a rest, didn't have any FA Cup football, so Arsenal have had a rest. Fulham didn't get a rest and were disappointing in the weekend, Fulham. Very disappointing. So I would expect Arsenal to take advantage of a bit of a tired Fulham. And I think Fulham played quite a few A-team players as well, so it's not like they rested players in the FA Cup. So I would expect Arsenal to thrash Fulham. If you've got I've got a Rice Classic. I'll probably try and fit him in somewhere, but I've not got anyone else. But I think if you've got the defenders, happy days. Timber, I've been saying on the channel for a while. Timber is exciting. Timber's the guy I'd go for. And up front, Martinelli's back. Marino's been doing okay up front. Against Fulham, Arsenal could fill their boots here. So Arsenal-Fulham, I'm predicting a kind of, maybe even Arsenal keep a clean sheet here. 3-0, maybe 2-0. Then we've got Wolves versus West Ham. This is an important game for my Sorare gallery. I've got a lot of Wolves cards and I've got a full West Ham Classic collection. I don't feel confident either way here. Cunha's still not playing, so it will be Strand Larsen playing up front. Otherwise, the Wolves team is fairly much the same as last week. Bellegarde could be a good option for me if I decide to go for some Wolves players. Strand Larsen, hoping he continues scoring. Totti Gomez, Agdadu, and Doherty, solid back three there. West Ham, it's disappointing. Kudos, disappointing. But Bowen is, he's the main guy. Hoping Ward-Prowse continues his good form. I would expect Wolves to kind of edge this one. But I could see it being a draw. I could see this possibly being maybe a 1-1. I don't really feel confident about either team's clean sheets. I could see Bowen nicking a goal and I could see Strand Larsen nicking a goal. So I'll probably try and fit them both in the lineup. But I think what I'll do is in season, I've got Wolves in season and I've got West Ham in Classic. So in one of my Classic teams, I'll go full West Ham and kind of gamble that they beat Wolves. And in my in-season lineup, I won't go full Wolves, but I might go attacking stack. I might go Strand Larsen and Bellegarde, maybe Andre or Gomez as well. I don't really feel confident about the defensive goalkeeper, but it is a home fixture. And West Ham's attack hasn't been that lethal lately. So perhaps you want to go a full Wolves stack even. I think it depends on fixtures and what your gallery is. I've got a lot of Crystal Palace cards who've got a better fixture, and I've got Nottingham Forest cards who've got a better fixture. So Nottingham Forest fixture might not be better, actually. That's the next game we should preview. Nottingham Forest, I don't know if their fixture's better, but they're in good form, Nottingham Forest. They got to the FA Cup semi-final, so confidence is going to be high. What might go against them is Gibbs White might be injured. I've seen that he's 50-50 for this game. FotMob have put Gibbs White to start as in their predicted lineup. However, I think it's a bit risky, and I don't think I'm going to risk Gibbs White this weekend. Because they played at the weekend, and because he's a 50-50, and they got other options they could play there. They could play Chris Wood's injured as well. Ooh, so that, I mean, maybe Gibbs White would play, because with Chris Wood being injured, they're saying Alanga's going to play up front. I don't know if that will happen. I think Alanga could play there. Maybe Silva could play here, and maybe Awaniwi could play up front. Awaniwi played up front in the FA Cup. So Forest's lineup, I don't like it. The uncertainties. Chris Wood's uncertain. Gibbs White's uncertain. They are playing an out of form Manchester United though, but Manchester United didn't play at the weekend, so maybe they're more rested than Forest. Maybe that goes for them. And Manchester United's fixtures lately, they're not as out of form as they used to be. They beat Leicester, they beat Sociedad, they drew to Arsenal, they drew to Sociedad before that. So they haven't lost in the last 5 games, Manchester United. It's just that the 2 wins came against Sociedad and Leicester. So maybe, Leicester, there was this expected win. So I think this is a really hard one to call. Another one where I'd probably sit on the fence and say a draw, especially with Forest. If Forest had a full strength squad, Chris Wood playing, Gibbs White certain to play, and they hadn't played in the FA Cup, I'd probably favour Forest for this game. But with these two, the striker and the number 10 position being uncertain, I think that gives Manchester United possibly an edge. And it looks like all of Manchester United players are fit. All of the big guys, Ugarte and Fernandes in the middle, that's the main guy. When Man United was struggling early in the season, I feel like it was Casemiro and Eriksen playing. Whereas when Ugarte and Fernandes are in that too, I feel like that makes them much solid. So they've got these two fit. They've got Garnacho kind of in better form now. I feel like Xerxes and Højlund are kind of taking turns. One of them plays good one weekend, one of them plays good with the other weekend. So yeah, I think this is going to be a close game. We'll have a look at my Sorare lineups later, where I don't exactly know how bullish I am on Forest. I think I may have Chris Wood in a lineup. I may have Chris Wood for midweek. I've got Hudson-Odoi in a cap 250 so far, and I'm going Palace, Bournemouth, Elliot Anderson. So yeah, I've not got Chris Wood or Gibbs White in any of my lineups because I just don't know who's going to play for Forest. So I'm going to be going for the Forest defensive stack here in hopes that at home to Manchester United they can keep a clean sheet. If not, Elliot Anderson, maybe. So yeah, that is Forest v Manchester United. They will be the games tomorrow on Tuesday. Then we go to Wednesday's fixtures, where there's a bumper schedule. Wednesday is going to be some good Premier League viewing on Wednesday. We've got Bournemouth v Ipswich. Now, Bournemouth are not in good form. Knocked out of the FA Cup. Have been struggling in the league. Let's look at Bournemouth's last fixtures. Lost to City, lost to Brentford, 2 draws, lost to Brighton. After so much promise, Bournemouth have really fallen off a cliff. It's a shame because they started the season so well. There was talk of them finishing in Europe, and now where are they in the table? Now they're 10th. They were like 7th, 6th at one point. Looked like they could get a European finish. Now it's looking like an average season, really. And I think their fixtures are tricky as well. After Ipswich, they've got West Ham away, Fulham, Palace, Man United, Arsenal and Villa. So I don't see anything in the last 2 games. It's tricky. And as someone that has a lot, I bought Bournemouth cards when I first got my Premier League in-season cards a while ago. So I'm sticking with them just in the hope that they turn it around. And I can't be selling any Bournemouth cards when they're playing Ipswich at home. So I've got, where have I gone? I've gone too far back. I've got Evan Nielsen, who's been scoring some goals lately. And I've got Semenyo, who I bought for a bargain for £2. And I'm sticking with him and not going for Clivert, basically. So we've not got the predicted lineups for Bournemouth v Ipswich. But Bournemouth don't have many injury worries. Now that Evan Nielsen's back, I think Clivert's still the main man, but I just don't want to pay £10 for a Sorare card at this point of the season. So I'm happy with my £2 Semenyo gamble and my Evan Nielsen striker, which you can see I've gone for them in this second Premier League in season. Evan Nielsen, I'm going to captain Semenyo and Zabani and Kepa. So I'm going to be hoping they keep a clean sheet against Ipswich, which, isn't the craziest prediction. Bournemouth keeping a clean sheet at Ipswich, that could easily happen. So I think this Premier League lineup is going to rely on them scoring a lot of goals, Evan Nielsen and Semenyo chipping in, especially Semenyo, because he's not been that active lately, but he's still playing every game. So against Ipswich, this is the game for him to return his form, hopefully. So I'm going to be going for these two Bournemouth strikers, Zabani and Kepa, and then Elliot Anderson as the kind of midfield pick. I would like this to be Morgan Gibbs-White at Manchester, playing Manchester United at home. Crowd should be up for it because Manchester United is still a big fixture. So I would have loved that to be Gibbs-White, but he's a 50-50. If we go into this lineup, do Sorare data have him as a 50-50? It would have, yeah, there he is. He's 33% Gibbs-White now. So he's not even a 50-50. So I definitely can't play Gibbs-White. I've got to go for Elliot Anderson. And maybe if Gibbs-White doesn't play for Forest, Elliot Anderson gets more of an advanced role. So that's my thinking for this lineup. The next fixture why has it gone that far back? Next fixture is Brighton v Aston Villa. Brighton have been picking up their form lately. They do have a load of injuries. Look at the Brighton injuries. I don't think you can see it because my face is blocking the injury screen. But yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 first team players out injured for Brighton. Yet their form has been good. Brighton's form, a draw against Forest and a draw against Man City. Not the worst results. This was the FA Cup as well, where they went out on penalties. And then they won the last 3 games. So Brighton have gone up to 7th in the table. In the league, they're unbeaten in the last 5. Won the last 4 before the last draw against City. So Brighton are in really good form. I think this is going to be a hard game for Villa. And it should be a good game to watch this. Brighton v Villa should be a fun game to watch. Who would I back here? I think I'd back Brighton. And as a Chelsea fan, with Aston Villa breathing down Chelsea's necks, I want Brighton to win. And I think they can. I mean, they do have 8 injuries, but, you know, Mitoma's not injured. João Pedro's not injured. All of the big boys aren't injured. I think it's mainly the backup boys who are injured. So, yeah, I'd back Brighton for this one, but I think it'll be really close because Villa have now got themselves in a position where they're now in Champions League discussion. They're 9th in the table, but they're only 4 points. Actually, Champions League in England should be the first 5 places now. So Villa are 3 points off a Champions League place. So it's really close. Everyone from 10th to 5th are separated by 4 points, which is crazy. So Villa and Brighton, it's a 6-pointer. It's a battle for European football. It's going to be a fun game. I've got a naughty feeling Brighton might edge it, but I wouldn't count against Villa. If you've got a Villa stack of Sorare cards, you play your Villa cards here because it could be a really high-scoring game. I don't know about defensive stacks from either team. Brighton don't really have a lot of good clean sheets, and they don't really have a lot of defenders that get great scores. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching this in the future, let me know, but I'm pretty sure Brighton's defensive options aren't great in Sorare. However, their midfield and attack are, and Villa, I think this game could be, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4, we could get a lot of goals in this game. So Watkins, Rodgers, Rashford got 2 goals at the weekend. Is Rashford going to get a game? Is he got confidence going now? Is Marcus Rashford, going to finish the season strong with Villa? If he is, and you've got his Sorare card, happy days. Cheers. Asensio's a good option still. Even when Asensio doesn't start for Villa, I feel like he comes off the bench and gives them a good option. So that's Brighton v Villa. Newcastle v Brentford. Newcastle will be fresh from their party bus. Fresh from their party bus. So confidence will be high for Newcastle. Brentford's confidence isn't that high. They've both got injuries, but not key injuries apart from Anthony Gordon for Newcastle. But Isaac will be back. Jacob Murphy. I've sold my Jacob Murphy card actually. I don't have my Jacob Murphy anymore, so I traded my card, a few of my cards that I wanted to get rid of in anticipation for next season. Basically, I got rid of my Premier League in-season cards that weren't a part of a collection. And Jacob Murphy was one of them. And I got my first rare card, a Konza card for Aston Villa. So I could actually play Konza in my limited lineups. Basically, I was kind of traded a few cards that I think are going to drop in value. Got a rare card who I think could be a good option next season, and that's Konza. So I'm going to see how that goes. Next up is Southampton v Crystal Palace, and as someone who has a full Crystal Palace stack, that's the lineup I'm going to go for the most. Crystal Palace, annoyingly, Mateta is down a 0% chance to start here. Which I don't get because he played in the FA Cup, came off, didn't seem to be injured. So I'm going to risk it and play Mateta because I've looked at other sites of prediction sites. They all seem to think Mateta is going to play. He came off the bench in the FA Cup. And also, the other option is Eddie Nketiah. And even though I've got an Eddie Nketiah card, I think it's transfer listed. I don't rate Eddie Nketiah. I do think Mateta is leagues above him. So I'm really hoping Mateta plays, even though he's down as a 0%. I'm going to risk that he plays. If you watch this video before the deadline, let me know in the comments if you've got any intel, inside knowledge into why Mateta is 0% chance to start. But I don't want to play Eddie Nketiah. That is the other option. The other option for me is Eddie Nketiah, who they've given a 90% chance of starting. I just don't get it. I'll have a final news dive after this video into is Mateta got injured again. He played at the weekend, got subbed. I think he just got subbed as a bit of a precaution. I don't think it was an injury. So I'm going to play Mateta. If Mateta plays, it's Southampton away, which is an amazing fixture for Crystal Palace. So Mateta, Sarr, Eze should have an amazing game, these three cards. And then the defence have got a good chance of keeping a clean sheet. Now, it is Sorare. Southampton could annoy me and get a goal, ruin the clean sheet. But on paper, this is my Division 1 Premier League in-season team, Crystal Palace. And I think I've got to take a risk with Mateta, unless I read that he's really not going to be playing. And Eddie Nketiah will play for sure. Then I'll swap Eddie Nketiah and Mateta around. But I want this to be the lineup. That's the strongest 5 Crystal Palace cards, in my opinion. And that's what I want to go for. My other team, I've got Tyreek Mitchell, because I do think Crystal Palace can keep a clean sheet here. So I've got Mitchell, a defender, in this lineup. And Daniel Munoz I've got in as classic. He can go in my cap 250 lineup. So I've got a couple of other Crystal Palace cards scattered around. I've also got an Adam Wharton in-season card, which maybe could play here. Or maybe could play here instead of Declan Rice. So I'm going to jiggle my lineups around and maybe try and squeeze an Adam Wharton lineup. Where could he fit? Could Declan Rice? I'm not that confident on Phil Foden anymore. So perhaps Declan Rice could swap with Adam Wharton. But Arsenal have got a nice game at Fulham at home. I think Declan Rice will do better than Adam Wharton. So maybe Adam Wharton should go in the cap 250 lineup. His L15 is probably lower as well. Don't captain him. Hudson-Odoi, yeah, probably Hudson-Odoi in Manchester United. I quite like the idea of. I'm not going to be playing any of my Everton boys, so this might be a good chance to go through some of my lineups. The cards that I'm not going to be playing this week, Everton boys, because they've got Liverpool away. So even though I did say earlier, Everton could surprise Liverpool this week. Is that the next fixture to preview? Yes, Liverpool-Everton is the next fixture to preview. I think Everton could surprise Liverpool here. With me saying earlier, Liverpool's form is not that great. They've not done that well, Liverpool. They've lost a lot of games lately. They've got some injuries. Trent might be injured, I think. Trent could be injured. Gravenberch is injured. Connor Bradley's injured. So both of their right backs are injured. Alisson, the goalkeeper's injured. So could happen. It's a derby. They say in a derby, anything could happen. So, yeah. But that being said, I don't know if I would play any of my Everton cards. I've got Ndai, Beto, and I've got some defensive options. I've got Branthwaite, and I've got Tarkowski. There he is, James Tarkowski. I've got James Garner in midfield. So, I've got a few Everton options, but I don't think I'd play them with Liverpool away, even though, there's a chance they can do well. It's Everton away. What's happened here? Let's just show you my other options. So let's do the last game first. So Everton, Liverpool, expecting a Liverpool win. However, got a naughty feeling Everton could upset them. Maybe a draw. And if Liverpool do drop points and Arsenal beat Fulham, Arsenal will have beaten Fulham before, most likely. Arsenal will have played the day before. So the pressure will be slightly on Liverpool. If Everton win, it'll be really good for the title race. But I'm not going to go crazy. Maybe in my other capped league, I've only built one lineup so far. Maybe I go for 3 Everton cards and go crazy and gamble, because no one else is going to do that. No one else is going to be picking Everton cards in Sorare. And then the last game is Chelsea v Tottenham Hotspur, which is going to be on Thursday, because Chelsea are just so used to playing Thursday football these days, depressingly. Cole Palmer is a doubt, it says here. I've seen him in training, though. I'm not going to argue with FootMob here, but I've seen Cole Palmer in training. That's all I'm saying. This is a hard one to predict as well, because both teams are out of form. Chelsea and Spurs have both been doing terrible. But I just feel like Chelsea, even when they're having bad seasons, they beat Spurs. Like, I don't know if that's me being an obnoxious Chelsea fan, but even when Chelsea have had bad games, bad seasons, bad managers, even when Chelsea have had managers that are about to be sacked, they've kind of still beaten Spurs. So last 3 games, Chelsea won, Spurs won here, draw here, Chelsea won, Chelsea won. So generally Chelsea do beat Spurs at home. So it could be a chance for Chelsea. Obviously, this is a biased Chelsea fan speaking here. Could be a chance for Chelsea to get some form back. But I'm not that confident on either of these teams. I think both teams are going to lose this game. Somehow, both teams are going to lose this game. So I've not put any Chelsea team players in my Premier League in-season lineups. I've gone for Savinho. Manchester City are playing Leicester. Now, I think City are going to beat Leicester. I think they've got some great confidence in the FA Cup. They beat Bournemouth, and they did look good. In the first half, they wasted a lot of chances. Haaland could have had a hat-trick, but second half, they brought on that lad O'Reilly. How much is his Sorare going for now? He looked amazing. And Haaland got his goal. So I think City are going to be a bit more confident. And it's Leicester at home. We saw last week when Manchester United beat Leicester. When you want a confidence-boosting game, you want Leicester at home as well. So I've got to play Savinho. Got to captain him. How many minutes did Savinho play in the FA Cup for Manchester City? He played... Checks form. How do we go that? Man City. Savinho didn't play. Does that mean he's not in the first team anymore, or does that mean he was rested? As De Bruyne played, I'm kind of thinking a few players got rested here. But not that many players got rested. Savinho, not injured. Didn't come off. He wasn't on the bench. What? Where is Savinho? Oh, wait. He played for Brazil. He played for Brazil, Savinho. So that's probably why he wasn't on the bench. Because he played for Brazil like on the Wednesday against Argentina. So he would have been traveling back. So that's why I'm hoping Savinho didn't play. So hopefully Savinho is nice and rested. Nice and rested for this one. Hopefully he's nice and rested and he can play. That's my aim. That's my aim. I'm going to put my aircon on. It's going to make a noise. Sorry if my aircon's a bit loud. It's getting a wee bit hot in here. All this Sorare chat. So, Savinho, captain. Who are my other striking options in season? Two Everton boys. Not going to play them away at Liverpool. Wolves boys. Strand Larsen is the one. Have I put Strand Larsen in a lineup anywhere? I've not put Strand Larsen in a lineup. Strand Larsen against West Ham at home. I've got quite a few headaches this week. He's the one I would go for. I don't know why he's not appearing in my options. But I assure you, Horgan Strand Larsen is an option. Liam Delap away at Bournemouth. is tempting, but maybe he's one for an all-star lineup or a capped lineup, not Premier League in season. Eddie Nketiah will get in the lineup if Mateta's not going to play, and then these boys are not likely to play. Awaniyi, he could be a good one for a cap lineup. Low L15 score, should start with Chris Wood being injured. Awaniyi's the option there. Goalkeepers, I've not really got any goalkeepers apart from Jose Sarr, the Wolves goalkeeper. But I think I fancy Forest at Man United rather than Wolves at West Ham. The other way around, sorry. Wolves hosting West Ham. I think I prefer Forest. But Sarr will make a lineup somewhere because that's not a terrible fixture. That could maybe be a champion lineup, Jose Sarr. So I don't think I've got any better goalkeepers. Defenders, here's that Eric Konza card I told you about. First rare card that I've ever bought. And I have transfer listed him because my thinking is I bought him because I think after the international break, he really impressed me. And I just got a bit of a feeling that Eric Konza and Villa have Champions League football. So I think a lot of people are going to want to buy Villa cards for the Champions League games. So I'm kind of bought Konza, not really for me, but as a bit of a trading thing. And then if I don't sell him, I think it's an okay card for a classic next season. So I'm not going to play him because I'm transfer listing him, trying to sell him. And also, like I said, Brighton Villa, I think that's going to be a lot of goals. So I don't necessarily think Konza is going to get the best score. So I think Nico Williams at home to Manchester United is probably a better fixture. Hoping Forest keep a really tight defence. And with me playing the Forest goalkeeper, I like doubling up on the defence. So that's my logic there. Oh wait, have I got any other defensive options? There are the Wolves boys, Totti. I do like the idea of Totti, but I think I'm going to go for Totti and Jose Sarr and maybe a champion lineup. We'll build that in a bit. Anthony Robertson's got Arsenal away, so I don't like that. Branthwaite, Liverpool away. Aina I like, but I think I prefer Nico Williams. I think he's just a bit more attacking. And then there's a few more backup Wolves boys. Midfielders. Who have we got? We've got Gibbs White, who we think's injured. Bentancur away at Chelsea, I don't like. Ethan Nwaneri, great fixture for Arsenal, but as I was saying earlier, unfortunately, Nwaneri's just dropped out of the favour at Arsenal now. He's just on the bench, so disappointing. I'd play Nwaneri. If I was Arteta, I'd be playing Nwaneri. I wouldn't be playing Martinelli or Merino. I'd maybe play Martinelli or Trossard up front, play the other on the left, and play Nwaneri on the right. So I can't really pick on Nwaneri in my lineups anymore. Adam Wharton is a serious consideration. I just think his scores, even though they've got a good fixture, his scores haven't been that great. I don't know if you can see it. I think my big head is blocking the view. Whoops. Where's Declan Rice? We've lost Declan. Declan! Yeah, Adam Wharton's scores have all been about high 40s to 50s lately. And Declan Rice's scores have been much better. He's playing Fulham. His last scores have been 91-91 for England. For Arsenal, he got a 91 lately, 74 lately, a 60 lately. So at home to Fulham, I've got to go for Declan Rice. So I've got a few other options, but I think they're going to be options in other leagues. So some of those options are going here in the cap 250. Hudson-Odoi, Bellegarde, Foden at home to Leicester. I don't know. Did Foden, how many minutes did Foden get from Manchester City? He did start. He came off on 69 minutes and he didn't look that good. So maybe I take Foden out of my 250 lineup. And I've got 56 score still to spend. 56. I could go for Duvan Vergara, although he came off the bench in last game. Could back some Chelsea boys at home to. Do we back Cole Palmer? I think we go Enzo Fernandez. Rather than Foden. And we captain Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea are going to thrash short Tottenham, aren't they? Surely. Chelsea are beating Tottenham. So that's who we put in that lineup. I think we put the other best Premier League players not in the other cap 250 lineup. But in champion, oh, there's no champion. There's no champion this week. Midweek. So we put them in All-Star. Let's go Wolves. Wolves All-Star. Jose Sarr, Totti. We'll really go for a Wolves clean sheet here. And play two. Oh, will we? He's backing out of it. We're backing out of it. I just don't know if Phil Foden is going to play for Manchester City. I think I have to gamble that he does and put him in that 250 lineup instead of Enzo Fernandez. And what I do is I put Enzo Fernandez in the All-Star lineup. Because if Foden plays, Leicester at home is going to be a great fixture for him. And De Bruyne played a lot of minutes in the FA Cup. And Foden got subbed at 70 minutes. So De Bruyne, with his advancing years, makes me think maybe De Bruyne doesn't play that game and Foden plays as the number 10. Savinho plays on the wing. And maybe... Is Doku fit? Maybe O'Reilly's earned a start, actually, on the left wing. Or someone else plays. So, yeah, I'm going to gamble that Phil Foden is going to play. I'll captain him. And then my all-star lineup, I'll go for Wolves' defence and Chelsea's attack. Which is... I would never back Chelsea's defence. That's ridiculous. So, I'd go Wolves' defence, Chelsea attack... Oh, up front. Where's Håkan Larsen? This is really concerning. I can't find my Håkan Larsen card. I've not played him here, or here, or here. So where is he? Have I still got him? Did I accidentally sell him? There he is. He's not transfer listed. What is Sorare playing at? Why can't I play Håkan Larsen in my all-star lineup? Even says West Ham are an option here. Refresh? Do we refresh? Sorare cheating me here. They're not letting me play my Håkan Larsen card. Unbelievable. Right. I'll play someone else for now. I'll play Taiwo Awoniyi for now, but I'm going to keep refreshing and try and find where my Stan Larsen card went. And I might play Cole Palmer, you know. I might play Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, although he's been given 0% chance to play by Sorare, Reece James. Maybe I play a full Chelsea stack. Cole Palmer, 90% chance to play. This is his game, isn't it? Cole Palmer's had a long break. He's not been playing football for a while. He didn't play for England in an international break. I know he was injured, but I don't think he was as injured as he maybe seemed. I think he was possibly a little bit injured, and then maybe Chelsea and England both decided a rest might be good for him. It's Tottenham at home. This crowd are going to be up for it. I'm talking myself into a bit more of a Chelsea stack here, but I think I'll just go for the two, Palmer and Enzo Fernandez. I'm tempted to go Reece James in defence, and Jackson's injured, unfortunately, but I think Sancho and Neto have forward cards. I'm tempted to go full Chelsea stack, apart from the goalkeeper. All right, forget Strand Larsen. We don't even want Strand Larsen. We want Neto or Nkunku. Who's been in better form? Nkunku started against Arsenal, came off the bench in Europe, started against Leicester. So Nkunku's been playing. Sancho's another forward option. Has played the last 3 games. Scoring 50. They've all been scoring terrible. 50-41. But this all-star strategy is basically going Chelsea are going to beat Tottenham. So Madueke is still injured. Neto didn't play against Arsenal. That's what. Oh no, he did play against Arsenal. Neto has played the last 3 games. I'm going to go Neto. Captain Enzo Fernandez. I'm tempted to captain Palmer. Because I'm going to captain Palmer. Because this strategy, if Palmer doesn't do well, then this lineup doesn't work. Because these 4 could score well, but it's all-star. It's going to be really competitive. So I need Cole Palmer to do well in this game. So I might as well captain him. Yeah. So Chelsea attack and Wolves defense is an all-star strategy. How many goalkeepers have we got left? We've still got some contender lineups to build. Let's build a contender lineup. In season, I don't know. I've not looked at the fixtures yet. I'm in Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3. Oh, no, this is going to be Division 2, and this is going to be Division 3. So Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. So do we have a good fixture? No goalkeepers. What? I just saw Tigres have a goalkeeper. I just got offered a goalkeeper in All-Star from Mexico. There we go. Oh, it's not a contender division. It's interesting. So the Mexican teams aren't playing Mexican League football this midweek. They're playing like CONCACAF against the MLS teams. So Tigres, that's why I got confused. So I can't really build a contender in season team. So before I build let me just check who's playing contender in season. What games are they playing? I don't have any players of these guys. Switzerland, Colombia. I do have a Colombia player. China, Japan, Switzerland. Okay, so I'm not going to build any contender lineups this week. Well, I will build a Division 3 one just for XP, but I don't think I can build any serious contender lineups this week. So no contender lineups. We've built our 3 Premier League in season. We've not done Classic. Come on, Amreezy. We've not done Classic Premier League. We've got a Division 1. Right, so we've built one lineup on Wolves. So we've built one lineup with Wolves, backing Wolves. Basically, we're backing Bellegarde in the Cap 250. We're backing Wolves defense in All-Star. Maybe this should be a Premier League Classic lineup instead of an All-Star lineup. I don't know what to do. Do I put this lineup in All-Star where there's 7,650 people playing? What's the prize pool like? What is the All-Star prize pool like? No cash prizes. Cards given up to 225th. What is Premier League Classic like? Premier League Classic is a lot less people, 1,200 so far, but I'm guessing the prize pool is not going to be as good. Oh, but there's cash. There's cash in Division 1, so I'm in Division 1 Classic, where there's cash and there's cards up to 124. So the cards go to a better... Right, I've got to put the... I've got to play them in Classic, haven't I? I've got to play this lineup in Premier League Classic. Because we're in Division 1 and there's a chance for cash. And All-Star is hella competitive. And I'm not that confident about the Wolves defense anyway. So Chelsea attack and Wolves defense. That's what I'm going for in Premier League Classic Division 1. Where's Cole Palmer? Cole? There you are. I'm not used to seeing Cole Palmer's L15 that low. I'm not used to scrolling to find Cole Palmer. Right, so... I've got a Division 1 lineup in Classic, and then I've got a Division 2 where we'll play the West Ham stack. So if Wolves let me down, my insurance policy is going to be West Ham. How many goalkeepers have I got left? Areola is playing, Ramsdale is playing. I've only got 2 goalkeepers left. And a Tigres goalkeeper. Tigres 1 can be the All-Star goalkeeper. So let's build a complete... Do we do that? Or do we go for a little guy that I like to call Reece James. We're not going to play Tarkowski. He's got Liverpool away. We're not going to bank for another Wolves defender because I'm backing Wolves in far too many places this midweek. Konza we're transfer listing because that's not a Sorare playing card. Robertson's got Arsenal away. Milenkovic is a nice option. Kukurea. But Reece James on the back of... Will he play? He did play for England, but then he didn't. Chelsea didn't play midweek because they're out of the FA Cup. Tears as a Chelsea fan. So Reece James didn't play. If you're watching this live in the chat, by the way, as I can see a couple of you are, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Join me. Join the community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyone in the chat, anyone live watching. If you're watching this in the future, welcome from the past. We hope the future is everything you dreamed it could be. Maybe you're watching this midweek in the Premier League set of fixtures and you're laughing at the players that I've picked. If you are, just drop a lol in the comments so I know that you're laughing at me, and join the community, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Who do we pick? Who do I pick? I think it's between Kukurea and Reece James. I'm tempted, because I've gone for the West Ham goalkeeper, I'm tempted to do the classic goalkeeper defender stack, but I'm not that convinced West Ham keep a clean sheet at Wolves. And I can't exactly pick the Chelsea goalkeeper because I've not got Sanchez. So let's go Reece James. Then midfield, I'm tempted. I was going to make a full West Ham stack here. But if I'm going to mix it up, now I'm thinking maybe I go another Chelsea guy. Or Kovacic at home to Leicester. Sorry, I've given him a 10% chance of starting Kovacic. But how many minutes did he play against Bournemouth? He played 83 minutes. Now, Kovacic ain't starting against Leicester. They're playing one of the kids. Nwaneri's not playing. So it's between Dewsbury Hall, Adam Wharton away at Crystal Palace. Away at Southampton. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. So Adam Wharton, Jared Bowen, and I like this lineup. It's a real mixed bag. There's no stacking here. The last one is between Caicedo at Chelsea. Just got a feeling Chelsea are going to have a good game at Spurs, basically. So it's between Kukurea, Ward-Prowse, or Caicedo. I think we got to go Caicedo. And I think we got to captain Bowen. Right. That is my Premier League Classic lineups. And then we're going to build... The last one is going to be All-Star lineup. And then I'll build my the free one. The free one for fun at the end. Right, All-Star. So Tigres are playing. What have I done here? Where's Tigres gone? Here he is. Tigres are playing LA Galaxy. And I've got one more Premier League goalkeeper. I've got two more goalkeepers who are playing. So I've got two more lineups I can build. Tigres at LA Galaxy. I don't know who's going to play. I'm guessing they play their first team, right? So I've got him and I've got a... Thiago Silva's got a game, but he didn't have a good game last week. I might as well play the Tigres defender with the Tigres goalkeeper. I might as well go full Tigres stack, actually. It's not like I've got many Premier League options knocking on the door. I do like Ward-Prowse, but a couple of 50s lately, away at Wolves. Could be a bit of a scrappy game. So we might as well go Brunetto. We might as well go full Tigres stack here. Ibanez and Gorian. So one lineup will be a Tigres one. And then we've got one goalkeeper left. Do we build this all-star lineup or do we put him in Premier League Classic? I think we go Premier League Classic because it's Ramsdale. So it's going to be a bad score and we're in Division 3 here. So we might as well go for it. Cucurella will basically picking the players that I wanted to pick in other lineups that I couldn't. Newcastle at home to Brentford's a nice fixture as well for Shah, but his scores have been shocking lately. Shah's scores have been all over the place. Let's go Cucurella. Midfield, we want James Ward-Prowse makes this lineup. Last striker. If flipping Strand Larson was appearing, what is going on? I'm gonna have to write to Sorare. I might have to finally contact Sorare contact support and go sort it out. Right. Okay. The options are Liam Delap away at Bournemouth, Nkunku at home to Tottenham, Eddie Nketiah, but I just don't know why he's 90% of playing. I just think Mateta has to play that game. Solanke away at Chelsea, or Taiwo and Awaniwi. I like the idea of Awaniwi playing with Chris Wood being injured. And then the last player will be Paquetá, maybe Paquetá and Ward-Prowse. Bit of a West Ham link up. Oh yeah, that sounds all right. West Ham to do well, although Paquetá scores lately. Paquetá didn't play the last 2 games for West Ham actually. Oh no, he did. He played against Everton, came off the bench against Newcastle. He might have played for Brazil. So I don't know if he's tired from the international break, but Paquetá, not captain. Captain in this lineup's tough. I don't feel confident about any of them. Let's go Awaniwi. He's going to get a goal against Manchester United. Right. Those are my lineups. The last one I'll build on stream as we finish the stream off is the best of Europe, where who's got a good game here? So I like Southampton, Crystal Palace, and Arsenal. Arsenal Fulham is going to be the game I think they're going to thrash them. They're going to absolutely thrash them. Saliba or Timber? I do like Timber. Timber might be a bit of a differential. If I go for an Arsenal stack here, why has he not played the last 2 games? Oh, they were for his country. I feel like everyone will go for Saliba. So if I go for an Arsenal stack like I expect everyone to go for, oh, maybe not the strikers. Maybe we go for microphone knock. Whoops. Maybe we go for Liverpool. Maybe let's play one of our other cards as well. Let's play. I don't feel confident about any of these cards though. Nah, let's go for a free card. Nkunku. Why not? Christopher Nkunku. And we will captain Salah. Boring captaincy choice, I know. Oh, he has to be in season. All right. Nah, I'm not feeling any of my in-season cards. Liam Delap. Out of form Bournemouth. Why not? Liam Delap. I think that might be our play. Oh, Isaac's got Brentford at home. Although he's not been in that great score lately, has he, Isaac? Is there anyone else I'm missing? Could go for another Arsenal boy. Yeah, maybe an Arsenal defender. Maybe we double up on the Arsenal defense. double up on the Arsenal defence, and go Salah and Odegaard. They're my lineups. That is this week's video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this and you're watching this in the future, do give it a like and a subscribe. It helps me out massively. I do videos every Monday and Thursday all about Sorare and football. I'm a football nerd. I love talking about football. If that's your cup of tea, stick around. We're building a nice community here. That's the weekends of Premier League's football preview. That's my Sorare lineups previewed. I'll be back on Thursday with a review of how these lineups have done and a preview for the weekend and a chat all things Sorare. I'm now going to investigate, is Mateta playing or is Nketiah playing this midweek? That's my big question this week. I really hope it doesn't let me down whichever way I go. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Peace.